Y'all, today Wizard101 just dropped the news that for the entire month of May, the whole first arc in Wizard101 is going to be free. Now, this is a really big deal because I want to say that the last time they did this was the month of January. So since then, February, March, April, that's 3 months where the game has just felt like, you actually do have to pay to play. And to me, there's a lot to, unpack when it comes to them specifically using this month as a way to make Wizard City free, Marleybone, Mushu, Dragonspire card, all that free. But I want to talk about the elephant in the room first. When is this going to become permanent? This is probably the biggest question that everybody has. Honestly, anytime they make a tweet, just, announcing something like this, always, if you look on Twitter, the comment section goes crazy. Bro, make this permanent. Why is this not permanent already? And while I do believe that literally, not appreciating the fact that they're actually doing this, that's kind of wild. I do think it's an important question to explore because honestly, I would hope that the goal of doing this every now and then, this whole first arc being free, is to make it permanent. And I think there's a lot of signs here that point towards, something positive, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I think when you're looking at the timeline of this whole thing, you start to see a very interesting picture unwrap, right? I think that when they first actually, dabbled in this, it was when they gave everyone free membership as compensation in September when Wiz got hacked. And I can only assume that Wiz rose in popularity as a result of that move, and it probably had the people in charge thinking, yo, what if we made the first arc free? And what's wild is that they didn't just, beat around the bush when it came to it. They made it free during the month of December. I cannot stress enough how important, the later months of the year are when it comes to games in general. People have all kinds of free time, the holidays come around, people that are students have break, they are done with finals. The fact that they chose a month that, actually they would have made a lot of money probably just on membership, the fact that they chose that as a month is a big deal. And to my knowledge, it was probably successful enough that they actually continued it into January. So that's 3 months where they probably had good enough numbers to justify keeping on doing it. And yet, you might be wondering, why do they wait 3 months to do it again in May? I think what they're doing right now, if I had to guess, I think they're assembling a gigantic load of data on where revenue goes when they don't have people paying for the first arc. I think now they have data during September, which is probably a pretty bad month normally because it's between updates. And they also have back-to-back pieces of data to compare when it comes to December and January. If you notice something, what's missing, right? What's missing is they don't have data on how it would look if the first arc was free during the spring and during the summer. If I had to guess, they're gonna do an event right now between the spring and summer update because that's a downtime where they're probably not gonna get as much membership revenue anyways. And if I had to guess, and I think this would be smart, they should do one at the height of summer. And I think that should be July, August, something like that. If I'm fully wrong, I'm just going to take the L on this one, but to me, that seems like the strategy that they're using. I think they're comparing off months and on months to really see what it looks like when Wiz is free for the first arc, basically. So that's a super long-winded way of answering whether this will become a permanent thing. I think they're still collecting data on it to really figure out to what scope they can do it. But I think the big good news here is that they're continuing to experiment with this. I think this is something to celebrate beyond anything. I could tell you literally what, I don't know, 5 years ago, right? If you said that this stuff was happening, I'd be like, you're stupid. There's no way this is a KI that I know. But honestly, I think that is really what's happening. I don't think they are the KingsIsle that we know. Sure, they might make some really stupid mistakes and we should hold them accountable. But this type of marketing, this type of actual experimenting with things that are free, this is not their MO. It's just not. It's cool to see. It's cool to watch. And I hope they get aggressive with it. And that's kind of what I wanted to end this video actually with. Some suggestions that could actually make something like this, give them better and better numbers so that they can justify it more and more. I think for one, right, if you're really doing the first arc for free as a first-time player, for sure, it's really just nice that you don't have to pay. You can experience the storyline. It's really good. But I think when it comes to the first-time user experience, I don't think they get as good of an idea as everything that Wiz has to offer. I think right now, there needs to be a little bit more coordination when it comes to, how a first-time player actually engages in side activities. I feel like, right, for example, right, let's say that you want to start gardening. You get a pop-up on your right to talk to Melinda Wu, the life professor, and that's about it. And while yes, it's a side activity, I really think they could do well by integrating that into the main quest line somewhat early on. Maybe Wizard City, Krakatopia, something like that. What's crazy is that in later worlds, you have quests where you play as a pet, right? And honestly, playing as a pet what is it really doing for you at the end of the day? The only application you have for playing as a pet is finding stuff in raids, which the vast majority of people aren't even gonna do. So why not take a concept like that with a fairly useless feature, no offense, play as a pet, kind of useless. Why not apply that to stuff like gardening, like fishing, maybe even PvP? I know, it's crazy. I think stuff like that would increase the actual like return rate when people actually play the game for free, because I think that addresses a fundamental issue. When people want the game to be free, here's what they're really saying. They're saying that what is, you know, currently available isn't an accurate representation of the game. That means that if I do what's currently, let's say there was no event, right? It would only be this area, which is like Unicorn Way and Triton Avenue. That doesn't give you enough of the game to experience anything about it. And while I think questing through the first arc does a really good job, as you do this more and more, I think there needs to be other features that you advertise so that players get the real idea of what Wiz is. There's house decorating, there's fishing, there's like, you know, farming for stuff, there's collecting, there's PvP, there's beast move. The list goes on way beyond just questing and experiencing what is, in my opinion, a very nice storyline, very good voice acting, very good ambiance. I think that's what I'd want to see. I think that it's hard to give specific suggestions on this because it is a very vague thing that I'm asking for as a player. But I think using what the experience is as a first-time player going through the arc as a trampoline to really dig into other parts of the content, I think that should be their end goal. And hopefully they use the fact that they have these windows where they're experimenting with all these months where players can play for free. I hope they start adding little things like that. Maybe like a fishing quest, or maybe like, I don't know, a gardening quest, something like that that's more integrated into the main quest line. I think it seems crazy, but I think that could be a cool thing to do, like, you know, maybe Krakatopia, Marleybone area, so people start understanding that, yo, this isn't just a game where you cast spells and, you know, fight mobs. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. I don't know, is that a stupid idea to y'all? Do you guys think that introducing people through the main quest line, especially when the stuff is free for people, y'all think that's crazy? Or I don't know, maybe there could be an opt-out feature if you're really not feeling it. But I think that type of stuff would really complement this little, you know, free first arc initiative more. Overall, y'all, if you're like, I don't know, free this summer or free this month, I guess, like, you know, like, y'all should probably play Wiz. It's literally free. This is something everyone asks for. What I'm really curious about, and let me know in the comments, do y'all feel like this is the right month for them to do it for you? Do you guys think that you wouldn't have played Wiz, but now you will? And let me know what you guys think they could do as they keep doing these, like, to keep changing it up a little bit, to make a first free arc feel fresh and renewed for any new player. Let me know in the comments. As always, drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a sub if you're new. Hopefully a bunch of people played this month. That would be really good for the game, in my opinion. Check out the event if you're a new player. Stay awesome, y'all. See y'all soon. I look forward to reading y'all's comments. And yeah.